Since the dawn of time, technological advancement has been at the forefront of human accomplishment. We've crossed the seas, beaten ravaging diseases, reached the stars, but at what cost? Have we, in our pursuit of a better quality of life, lost that which makes life a legitimate experience? What is the cost of our technological dependence, and are you ready to pay it? Here, we will endeavor to present you the facts of today and the solutions of tomorrow when it comes to the most domineering force to hit humanity since the Stone Age: the sacrifices of progress.
The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. They lived only to face a new nightmare: the war against the machines.
Just kidding. There we go. In the modern era, technology plays a huge role in our day-to-day. We rely on digital and mechanical devices for communication, for convenience, for education, and entertainment. With technology playing such a huge role, it begs the question: has our techno-dependency become damaging to face-to-face human relations? To start our quest for truth, we begin our search at our very own high school, Plano Senior.
It's no secret teenagers are the most technologically active demographic, so we interviewed students at random to see how much they use technology daily.
How many hours of the day do you spend using technology?
Excuse me, sir, can you tell me how much time daily you spend on technology?
Hey, big handsome. I got a question for you. What's up? How much time daily do you spend using technology?
Excuse me, sir, can you tell me how much time daily you spend on technology?
Can you tell me how much time daily you spend on technology?
Would you mind telling us how much time you spend using technology?
Can you tell me how much time daily you spend on technology? I'd like to do an interview, is that alright? Yes. Can you tell me how much time daily you spend on technology? Probably the whole day. Wow.
Usually about 3 hours.
About 2 to 3 hours.
I'd say probably a good 3 to 4 hours.
I use my phone probably like collective 5 to 6 hours throughout the day.
Daily, I would spend at least 8 hours on technology.
I'd say about 11 hours a day.
Incredible.
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours.
3 4 hours? That's good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Dude, has anybody ever told you you look exactly like Willem Dafoe? Really?
You're the first.
Young adults also use text messaging as their primary method of contacting friends. Over 80% report texting as their preferred method. The percent of people who use texting as their primary method of contacting friends drops in older age groups. Older adults over the age of 50 prefer calling or email. Young adults text more, use text to contact friends, and expect quicker responses. Younger adults also use text messages for a variety of functions in romantic relationships. In particular, about 15% of young adults report they had ended a relationship via text message, and 25% reported they had been dumped via text.
Go.
I'm breaking up with you. LOL. Smiley face.
79% of all teens instant message their friends, 27% do so daily. 72% of all teens spend time with friends via social media, 23% do so daily. 59% of all teens video chat with their friends, and 7% do so daily. 52% of all teens spend time with friends playing video games, 13% play with friends daily.
42% of teens use messaging apps, and 14 do so every day.
In addition to the world's love of texting, 5 to 10% of internet users have no control of how long they are online, showing textbook signs of psychological addiction. Social media has also been shown to trigger releases of dopamine. During an MRI, test subjects' reward centers were much more active when stimulated by social media use, especially when in contact with large audiences. On top of the detrimental effects of internet addiction, increased internet use leaves more teens vulnerable to cyberbullying, which in very severe cases can lead to depression or even suicide. After surveying students and attaining some basic facts, we decided it was time for a more professional opinion on how technology affects both human development and human relations. That professional opinion comes from Mr. Jeff Brooks.
I'm Mr. Brooks. I've been teaching AP Psych for about 15 years.
Our first question was, what kind of effect does technology have on the developing minds of society's youth?
So what are the psychological effects of technology on the development of youth? I think it changes the way we develop compared to when I grew up. But I think technology's always been a factor in the way people develop. It's just moving faster now with new technology, even within one generation to the next. If you're relating to people only through a device, it might impede your ability to relate to people in a one-on-one, like real-life situation. Maybe. On the other hand, if you look at this in another way, maybe the older folks who aren't using that technology, they're not with the times where you need to learn how to relate to people through a piece of technology. So technology has become more and more essential to teaching through the years. But there's no denying that the real-life human interaction you just can't replace that. So like e-school situations, there's just nothing like a situation teaching where it's real-life interaction rather than through a screen or through email or something.
To follow up, we asked him to comment on the value of face-to-face human interaction.
The value of human interaction. Well, I think we underestimate it. A lot of times we think we're like mavericks or I'm a lone wolf, but the fact is humans are very social creatures. Even those who are very individualistic and kind of on their own, and the lone wolf types, our mental health and so much about who we are is so inextricably tied up with who our in-groups are and who we socialize with and who we think we're a part of culturally. It's immense. The power of social interaction is something we often downplay. We don't realize just how powerful it is. There's a lot of research to show that. You could try to argue with somebody all you want until the cows come home and try to change their mind about, say, their view on President Trump or a political view or something, or a religious view or whatever, and all the arguments and all the logic in the world won't change their mind. Change their social network. If you can change their friends, you can alter their way of thinking, which is how cults happen.
In an effort to blend in with societal norms as seen on social media, many people, especially young adults, adopt the mindset of those around them, resulting in a culture that is more devoid of individualism. However, although the technology of the modern era has come with some controversy, it is not without its benefits. The Tobii Dynavox is an eye-tracking or touch-screen communication device that uses text-to-speech and allows children with nonverbal autism or Down syndrome to communicate with caregivers, friends, or acquaintances. Dynavox is also used by people suffering from cerebral palsy or ALS to help break down barriers that previously kept them in isolation.
After seeing the inescapable scope of technology, we decided to ask Mr. Brooks a hypothetical question.
Yeah, when people stop in a sci-fi situation where people no longer have any real human interaction, I don't know. we can do is speculate. But there's so much psychology research that shows that actual physical contact, particularly for infants, but and children, is really essential. So I think it would be extremely detrimental to development.
It would seem progress is a double-edged sword. While many of its benefits are obvious, its detriments, while less apparent, are still very pertinent. For example, a study done in 2004 linked excessive internet usage with sleep deprivation and depression. In addition to that, 25% of cyberbullied students think about suicide, and 1 in 10 bullied children attempt suicide. That means someone you may even know has been cyberbullied or could have quite possibly attempted to take their own life. Throughout human history, technology has been a guide or a beacon for humanity, but overuse and excessiveness have smothered that beacon, resulting in a generation of hurt instead of help.
It's an appropriate concern, but at the same time, there's benefits that come from it too, as well as the detrimental effects which might be there too.
Through our research, it has been made clear to us that while technology can be somewhat of an aid to society, while only being detrimental in excess, we hope that this film has been an eye-opening experience for you, and that you can now see the cost of living in and of the technological age. When is enough enough? When do you draw the line and stop allowing technology to affect every aspect of your life? Be mindful that you control the technology at your disposal, and not the other way around.